This is Let's Do Herbal Brews. We're going to be starting off with the world generation. If you're new here or if you're not new here, please do subscribe and like the video. It really helps me out. So, number 1, coffee beans. These are found in jungle biomes and you can break them to get some actual coffee beans. To then replant them, you will need to put it on farmland where you'll actually get a full-grown crop that you can then obviously make over and over again without breaking the plant. We also find in jungle biomes hibiscus. They come in a multitude of different colours, as you can see in front of me. When you break a hibiscus, as you can see here, you do actually get the full flower. What you can do, though, is just bone meal the flower itself and get more and more hibiscus. Otherwise, on things like coffee, you're going to want to plant it in farmland like I showed you. When you break hibiscus without shears or silk touch, it also has a small chance, which is improved by fortune, to give you some tea blossom seeds as a bonus drop. And tea blossom seeds are basically, bonus drops. So that's your hibiscus. We then have wild rooibos. This is in savanna biomes. Again, break it will give you a rooibos leaf, and you can then plant it in a farmland in order to then grow it. But you're going to want to break that one, and as you can see here, we've actually got like 3 rather than 1, and then you're just going to replant 1 leaf, and you kind of do it like that. Then we have wild yerba mate found in mountainous biomes, which is slightly more rare. Again, break it with left click to get 1 yerba mate leaf, but then you can actually use it on farmland and break it, and you'll get 4 of them rather than 1 with yerba mate. Lastly, also in mountainous biomes, we have lavender. Again, break lavender, and you will get, lavender pretty much, and it comes in different shapes and sizes, as you can see here. In order to actually get the lavender blossom, you are going to require to use shears with this. So when I use shears on it, as you can see, I then actually get the lavender blossom, which is what we want, rather than the main plant itself. If you break it without, you will actually have a chance to get some tea leaves as well from this method. So tea leaves being from lavender, and also from hibiscus drops. So when breaking those 2 plants, you get a chance to get tea blossom leaves. Before we move on, there's a few other items I just want to show you. Those are going to be the witch hat, which is very easy to make with vanilla ingredients, and gives you a little bit of armor and gives you a massive reduction to magical damage by 40%. Same with the top hat, reduces magical damage by 40%. And there's also a stove you can make, which is very nice as well. But now let's go on to how to actually make teas. Before we actually make any useful drinks in Let's Do Herbal Brews, we need to get lots of tea and dry it. So how do we do that? Well, you can actually get tea leaves by shearing with a left click, not in creative, Minecraft flowers. As you can see, I just got some tea blossom. And don't forget, we can also get it as a rare drop from lavender and hibiscus. Once you've got 9 green tea leaves, you can make a green tea leaf block. And then you're going to place that down on the ground like this. Make sure it has open access to the sky. Things like glass will obstruct this. And what you're looking for is these little green particles, as you can see, coming out of the tea. And that shows you that it's drying the tea, which is a good sign. So when it's drying, it takes about 5 minutes, I would say, maybe a little bit less. And basically, it will dry into dried green leaf tea block. Now, when you break the dried green leaf tea block, you will get free dried green tea. You used 9 to make it and dry it, but you're only going to get 3 back. So you break the dried green leaf tea block, and we get free green leaf tea, meaning to get 9, you would need to use 27 green leaf teas. So 3 blocks will equal 9 dried green tea leaves. Then what you do is you place down the dried green tea leaf block that you've gotten, and that will start drying out into black tea. Now you may be wondering, okay, but the green tea leaf will eventually dry into a block of dried green leaf. Will that not just continue to dry? No, it won't. You need to break the dried green leaf tea that you've made through this one drying, and then make it manually into a 3x3 and replace it down. Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, This green tea leaf block will turn into dried, but it will then stop. You need to break it, make 9 of them into a new green dried one, and then it will continue drying once you've replaced the new one. Eventually, that dried green tea leaf block will turn into black tea leaf. But rather than 3, you're only going to get 2. And as you can see there, I've got 2 more, making it 4. So you'd need to do your dried green tea 5 times to get enough to turn into a block of black leaf tea. But that's not actually what we need to do, thankfully. To then get the next step, which is really going to be oolong, what you need to do is make mixed tea. So 4 dried green tea and 4 dried black tea will make a mixed tea leaf block. Put down your mixed tea leaf block, and you will then eventually get oolong tea leaf. And that's how you dry tea in Let's Do Herbal Brews. So now that we've got all of our teas, how do we actually make some tea? Well, you need a stove, a kettle, and maybe even a brewing cauldron. The kettle is made out of either copper or iron. They're just aesthetical differences. Put down a stove and then shift-click your kettle on top of it. Then you can right-click the kettle. Now, the stove does not require blocks of coal or anything in it for the kettle to work, but it will work as a furnace, as you can see. Right-click the kettle. In the left goes glass bottles. In this slot, it's pretty obvious, blaze powder goes in here, which heats it up. And in here, you can put water buckets to fill the water level. Certain teas require certain heat and water levels. For example, if we look at green tea, what you'll see is that it requires this much water and this much lava. If you have more lava and water than this, it will work. You just need a minimum of this amount. And all I do is put my green tea at the top left, and it makes green tea and uses a bit of water. So what do all the teas do? Green tea has balanced. And that's going to grant you absorption to all players in a 10-block radius for 90 seconds, meaning it's really good for group activities. Black tea, as seen here, doesn't actually have any effects. Hibiscus doesn't have any effects. Lavender doesn't have any effects. Coffee has no effects. Really? I'm not sure I believe this. I was aware, I thought that it was meant to give you an effect called Deep Rush, which actually increases your mining. Maybe it's only in certain versions, but that's from coffee, so maybe not. But it should tell you the effects that you'll get from each one. Okay, so JEI doesn't know, but when you actually make the tea, it should tell you. You get balanced from green tea. Black tea gives you tough. And this should give you resistance and regeneration. Life Leech, which leeches life off your enemies, is hibiscus tea. Lavender gives you feral. God, don't we all get a bit feral on a bit of lavender? Which seems to sap your saturation, but does give you regeneration. It enhances the player's attack damage by 3, their maximum health by 4. And that is it for lavender. Yes, coffee gives you Deep Rush, which makes you mine faster. And the same if you make a milky coffee, which here, milk coffee is actually with a coffee to start with, and then you add in a milk bucket. So I take my coffee out, put it back in, and then put in my milk. And then you're going to get Deep Rush for a much longer period. Rooibos tea gives you regeneration, but only for 10 seconds. And Oolong gives you Fortune. Yerba Mate gives you bonding, which gives you absorption and regeneration to all players in a 10-block radius for a minute and a half. And then we have Flasks, which is where we move over to the Brewing Cauldron. So in the Brewing Cauldron, in the right-hand side, you put in Herbal Infusion, which is basically all the teas. And then you can mix together different potions. Like in this flask here, Potion of Strength, Potion of Swiftness, Potion of Healing. You get a flask, which gives you Regeneration 1 for 15 minutes. It basically is going to mix all of your potions together. So again, don't trust JEI all the time with this one. And as you can see, I put in a Potion of Healing, a Potion of Leaping, and a Potion of Night Vision. Now, if you put in something like Strength 1 and Strength 2, you will get Strength 2 back out. So it will take the highest denominator when you're using 2 of the same type of potion. And it may come with different visual variants on the flask you get, which is just aesthetical. You can see here as well the remaining time that is left on your brewing cauldron. 3, 2, 1. Let's see what we get. And there we go. You can see it has jump boost for, oh my god, 2.4 hours? Instant health 2 and night vision for an hour. That is insane! Oh my god! Yeah, this brewing cauldron is amazing. And there we go. That is everything, apart from the completionist banner, a reward for crafting all tea variants, and that grants absorption in a radius of 8 blocks. And that is how you complete the Herbal Brews mod. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this video.